Welcome to A Change of Heart podcast. I'm your host, Angel Walston. And in this space, we navigate life together. We ask the hard questions like, what is the truth you haven't told? But most importantly, we grow together. And sometimes that leads to a change of heart. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Change of Heart podcast. I'm Angel Walston, and today I am joined by two lovely ladies, Keithvette and Kalisha. Y'all can say hey to everybody.
Hi.
And I'm super excited to have them. Someone recommended that I do a topic on the importance of having a girl trap, friendships, sisterhood. And as I was thinking about who I wanted to be a part of this episode, it wasn't even anybody else to consider. I knew that I wanted them because I don't know if this is a sad thing per se, but they're literally the only women that I know who have had longevity in their friendship, that I've known who's been friends for a long time through different transitions. And I thought that they would be great to speak on the importance of having the sisterhood and could really give some insight into this topic. So I'm super excited for these ladies to join me on today. So for those of you who recall the episode, I believe it was What I Wish Adults Would Have Told Me, something along that lines with my cousin Kianya. So Keithvette is Kianya's mom. Kalisha is her godmother, and they BFFs. So we gonna talk to them today. But before we get into all of that, y'all know with my guests, I like to play a little game so that you all can get to know them better. So I have some questions for y'all to see how we know each other, okay? But my first question is, for all of my guests this season, I asked them this one question: when are you your most authentic self?
You want to go first? I think I'm always, which could be an issue sometimes because I just say whatever I feel at the moment. So I'm always my authentic self. Sometimes I probably should just shut up, let it go. So I'm always gonna tell you how I feel, what I think. Always.
Okay.
With me, I think I'm more authentic around family and friends. I feel like I can be myself more around people that I'm most comfortable with. If I'm in an atmosphere that I don't know a lot of people, I'm kind of more observant first, and then I'll open up later. But normally when I'm on my family and friends, I'm just straight being me. I don't have
you without the filter.
Without the filter, you go get me.
All right. How did you all become friends, and how long have you been friends?
Let's see. A lady knew both of our parents who she was friends with. And that was when we were like 3 or 4.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. It was around that time. So our parents had mutual friends, a friend, and that's how we became friends. So we were really friends around 3 or 4 years old. And then we grew apart. We moved, away from each other. The mutual friend moved out of the States. I think she lives in, Mississippi?
Illinois.
St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis. So she lives far away. So then in 10th grade, high school 10th grade year, I end up becoming friends with a mutual friend of Keithvette. Mm-hmm. And then we found out that we were friends through our parents. When I went home and told my mom, she was like, "Oh, that's Mary's daughter." And I was like, "Okay." And I think that's how we it just reconnected just like that. And we've been nonstop since then.
Yep. And it's crazy because I have little memories of us as children playing together outside, and or me going to her home or something like that.
Yep.
So,
and my mom remembers everything about her.
Everything.
Yep. Literally everything.
I love that. See, this is the longevity that I'm talking about.
Right.
And I say Keithvette is my cousin. I feel like Kalisha family as well because
I
feel like
yes,
I remember as much as I remember Keithvette.
Yes.
I love that. What was your first impression of each other? And this don't have to be when y'all was 3 and 4 because y'all probably don't remember that.
Yeah,
the first impression that you can think of that you had of each other.
I think my first impression was she looked familiar. I can't put my finger on it. But this the new girl at the school, and she's hanging out with my friends, so she gonna be our friend, and we gonna bring her in. That was my first impression. She was cool.
That's how I was like, oh, they cool. So just took it from there.
That was it.
That's easy. Okay,
yeah, very easy.
What is your favorite memory of each other?
We have so many. I mean, like literally, we could be here the whole podcast. So but we did talk about what like.
I think one of my favorite memories
her,
was one of our trips that we took to Daytona. Like, we had such a ball, but we were so young and we were broke. We didn't have any money.
We spent all our money,
and we went on this lavish trip, and we stayed about 4 or 5 days. We only slept maybe 2 or 3 hours, but on the way home, we had daylight savings time, and we missed our plane. We didn't have any money. We were crying. We end up catching a flight. Long story. Somebody sent us some money. We caught a flight we drove a car to Atlanta. We had to drive from Daytona to Atlanta. And we had a friend in Atlanta. And we went out to party again.
And still went out. Y'all lesson from the first time.
And almost missed our plane
again. We dropped the luggage outside. We didn't care if it got to us or not. We just dropped. And Atlanta airport is huge. Yeah. We were literally running through Atlanta airport to catch this flight. We were so tired. We went to sleep on the plane.
Well, that was the best sleep I ever had on a plane.
We woke up and we was like, oh, shoot, we're not in Richmond. We done got on the wrong plane. That's how tired we were. But we were in Richmond. But, yeah.
We've had so many trips, but that was the best memory of all to me. Because we like, will we do it again? And we said, we'll do it all over again.
I feel like you can do that when you're younger and you just being young and reckless. Like, you can do that. You don't think about any of the consequences or anything.
It's just so many. But, we could go on for days about.
And then us being pregnant together.
Yeah.
Oh.
We actually got to experience pregnancy together. So that was very memorable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that.
And they're close. So.
Mm-hmm.
Describe each other in one word.
I'm going to say compassionate. She's very compassionate.
I'm going to say honest.
Okay. What do you admire most about each other?
I like the fact that she is organized. Because I'm not. She's a planner. I'm not. I'm just like, okay, when the money due, when we going. She'll take care of all that.
Just tell you when to show up.
No, just tell me what we gotta do. I'm there. I mean, it's a lot of things that I admire about her. She's strong, encouraging, supportive. So that's probably why we don't start. So, that's probably why we've been friends for so long. And, I don't just consider her my friend. She's my sister. Like, her family is my family, and my family is her family. And that's just how we are. We don't call each other best friends anymore. And then people be like, I thought you only had one sister. I'm like, I got a bunch of sisters. So, yeah.
I like her spirituality. So it don't matter where we are, if we're going through good, bad, it could be anything. She's gonna drop at in any situation. She's gonna be like, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. Just recently we were doing a wedding together, and one of our brides kind of had a meltdown, and Kalisha just came in, and I'm closer to the bride than she is, but kind of she just came in and was like, everybody out. And she just took the bride's hand and just started praying over her. And the bride was like, when she prayed over me, everything just, like all of her worries, all of her fears just went away. And she was like, that's exactly what I needed. And so I get that from her all the time. Like, she is my prayer warrior. So that's my girl when it comes to that.
I love that so much. All right. So for the rest of the questions, we're going to see how well y'all know each other. So Keithvette, you're going to answer for Kalisha. And Kalisha, you're going to answer for Keithvette. Who is your friend's celebrity crush?
Jay-Z.
T.I.
Yes, girl, I love me some T.I. I'm sorry, Tiny. But yes, I
I
am.
don't know what I thought y'all would say, but that's not where I thought y'all was going.
Really?
And
What did you think we
I
were
don't
going to
know. I thought maybe like Idris Elba for one of y'all. I don't know. Okay.
Girl, we rad. You know we ratchet.
We got some good love. We got some good love.
We very versatile, but you know, I can't let go of my ratchetness.
Okay. All right. What is an expression or phrase that your friend always says?
I have to bleep out one of her words in her expressions, but hers is, "You got to be effing kidding me." She'll call me and be like, "You got to be effing kidding me," and I'm like, "What?"
Hers is she always go, "Oh Lord." No matter whether it's good, it's "Oh Lord."
Oh Lord. Here we go.
What is your friend's pet peeve?
She hates for somebody to say that they're going to do something and they don't. Like big things, not like if you can't go out somewhere, but like I said I was gonna throw your baby shower or something like that, and then I'm like, no, you made me mad. I'm not throwing your baby. Like she hates stuff like that.
Oh no, you don't like a lot of stuff.
The shade
That
of it all.
I mean, I'm being honest. Let me see, a pet peeve.
That would be true.
She doesn't like liars, so I can say that's one. She's honest, so she feels like you should be honest with her as well. Let her worry about her feelings. She'll rather for you to tell her the truth than to lie to her about something. So
That's true.
Like
yeah, I'll pick that one.
That one.
All right, last question. What actress would your friend want to play her in her biopic?
Taraji.
Taraji.
She loves Taraji.
I can see that.
She loves Taraji.
She would probably pick Regina King.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. They can be in a movie together. I like that. I like that combo together. But
Yeah,
y'all need to get the Tyler Perry Lifetime or something. Get this movie
Maybe
going.
something like that. Maybe gave Tyler Perry a good idea. So maybe so.
All right. I will choose one of these questions as the question of the day. I'll make sure to post it in my stories on Instagram at Angel C. Walston. So you can leave your answers there. Or if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you can put your answer in the comment section. All right, ladies. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be talking about sisterhood, having a tribe, all of that. And as I mentioned, I really do believe that you all have some good insight on this because, as I stated earlier, you've had longevity in your friendship, but at least from the outside looking in, it also appears that you've had a healthy relationship. And I feel like a lot of times in society, there's this picture painted that women can't get along, that they would rather be friends with men instead of women because women are catty and all this other stuff. But as women who've had longevity in their friendship, what would you say is important about having a sisterhood, about having a girl tribe?
I think it's rather important for women to have that significant other or soul. What do I call it?
She calls us soulmate.
A soulmate as a friend because it doesn't have to be, your soulmate doesn't always have to be romantically, right? It has to be somebody that understands you during the good times, during the bad times, someone who you know has your back and willing to go the extra mile for you. So, and then for women, we need somebody to know the struggles that we go through. Being a person who has a best friend as a male, I do have a male best friend. I have a female best friend. I can pretty much talk to both of them about anything, but he's not going to relate to how I'm feeling or exactly what I'm going through like she would. Mm-hmm. And I can trust her to be honest and open with me and be like, no, girl, you're just being spoiled. Stop, or yeah, you got a point. Maybe you should. So I like that coming from somebody that I can trust.
For me, I think the biggest thing is just communication and knowing that we can talk. Don't feel like somebody is putting you down or judging you if they give you constructive criticism. Don't think that that person doesn't love you anymore, doesn't want to be your friend anymore because they're telling you something. The things that we talk about, I know is coming from love. So I don't take it personally what she says to me or how we handle our situations. So to me, that's a big thing. And I know she's going to be honest with me. And that's another thing. Like, don't just tell me because it's going to make me feel good or it's going to give me a pat on my back at the moment. No, I want you to tell me what it is, what I need to do, and if I'm wrong or if I'm right, whatever. And I know I can get that from her.
I agree.
And I think I love that you brought that up, Kalisha, because I think that in relationships as a whole, I think that sometimes people feel like if somebody like disagrees or whatever it might be, they feel like that has to end the relationship.
Correct.
But in like relationships are work, whether it's
Yes.
a significant other,
Yes.
a family member, like it is work.
It is.
But something I love that you said, Keithvette, because I've had this conversation with some of my friends, is that I do agree that soulmates are not limited to just like a significant other. Like it really can be your girl. It can be like, it's not just limited to a man. And I love that so much because I truly do believe that there are people that we are connected with in this world. It's like, there's a billion plus people in the world. Like your path intentionally crossed with certain people.
Right.
And I do believe that they could be your soulmate. So
I agree.
Yeah. What do you believe are key factors to building long-lasting friendships with women or as women?
I mean, that goes back to what I was saying, communication. And like you said, with any relationship, even having a friendship with the same sex, it all takes work. I can't just say, oh, she's my friend, that's it. No, we gonna have to go through the ups and downs together, the good and the bad, your family issues or my family issues. Like that's how far and how strong we have gone in our bonding, because when she's going through something, I'm going through something, and vice versa. If our kids are going through something, we're all going through it together. So I just think just making sure that you're being there with that person and you have a bond with that person and you trust that person and you're honest with that person.
I was going to say that too. Yeah. Trust and loyalty.
Yeah.
You got to know that somebody's loyal to you. Because you can have a lot of people say they're in your corner and there for you during the good times, but then come the bad times and nobody's there. So I just need to, like, our friendship has that trust. I know she's going to be there regardless. And she's proven that by loyalty. She's loyal to me. And so that's important for our friendship.
Yeah, that's good. And I feel like all of the characteristics that you all stated is important in long-lasting friendships. And those characteristics can weed out people that aren't going to be there for the longevity, that aren't going to be there for long term. And it also just reminds you as well that there are people that you may connect with that, like, y'all cordial, y'all cool or whatever, but they're not supposed to be like a part of your forever story. They may be there, whatever it might be. And I think in just relationships, friendships as a whole, we know that in life, we go through a lot of different transitions, whether it's through work, job, relationships, marriage, divorces, kids, like all of these different things. And something that I've heard other women say that they have, I guess, struggled with is maintaining relationships through all of the different transitions when it comes to just like living your life. And so I know with you two, you all have been able to maintain a friendship through a lot of transitions. So you all were friends as like babies, but like reconnected in high school. So it's like going from high school to like going into adulthood, relationships, marriages, having kids, all of that. What do you think has been helpful for you all to be able to maintain your friendship throughout all of just life transitions?
I think it's still making time for one another, making time for your friendship, because sometimes we get caught up so much in work, kids, something that's going on with the family or something. And it's important to have that self time. And it's important to have that friend time, that girlfriend time. Like, everybody needs to get out and hang out with their friends sometimes. So I think it's important to keep that open. You know, even if you go out to the movies or call and be like, girl, hey, come over for a glass of wine or something, because you got to keep that open. If not, you'll lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I just feel like we include each other in everything. So it's not like I don't feel like I'm out of the loop with anything. I feel like I'm in tune with what's going on. Not saying that she has to tell me every little single detail, but I'm there for the family functions. I'm there for the birthdays. I'm there for the anniversaries. I'm there for whatever, the game night, whatever it is. It's like I'm always included. So I'm feeling more as family than just as a friend. Mm-hmm. And then another thing is, she's married, but I'm not. So I think a lot of times women tend to, I'm not going to say jealousy, but they look at their friend or the other person and feel like, oh, well, she's moved on, or she's this, that, and the other, and I don't have that. So I think if you don't allow those feelings to come in between your friendship, because that's not what it is at all. It's just, she got married before me.
So, and everybody's life ain't perfect.
Yeah. You know. So it's like, you know, she had a house or whatever. So it's like those things, I'm happy for her. And I know when it's my time to have those things, I will have those things as well. So I think a lot of women tend to look at what the other person has and let that come in between their friendship or relationship, what they have with other people, because they tend to look at what they don't have. So.
Yeah. And the grass is not always green on the other side. I mean, and then we know that about each other. And it's like I said, it's a lot of things, like her spirituality. It's a lot of things that I look at her and be like, oh, I can't wait till I get to that point in my life. You know what I mean? So I think it's pretty even with us. We don't. I got it as long as I got her. I'm good.
And I got my house as long as I got her.
That's good. I love that. And this is helpful because I know, so I'm in a space where I have one friend that's married, like all my other friends, single as a Pringle. But I do have other friendships where it's like they're the single friend and all of their other friends are married, and feeling kind of like there's not space for them. So this is a good conversation, just a good reminder for us as single women and for those who are married, that we still need each other. Like, yes, we might be in different spaces of our life, but we still need each other. Like, there's still ways that we can create space for each other. So I love that.
Right. That's true.
Right.
So in thinking about transitions as well, one of the things that you all transition with that I don't know why I didn't think about this when I was doing the questions is the fact that y'all are working together. Like, y'all have businesses together. So how is that? Because obviously we know, like, when you're working with somebody, you spend a lot of time with somebody. Even when you love that person, you really like that person, that's a dynamic change as well. So how do you navigate that as friends, but now also business partners?
We get frustrated. I'm not even gonna lie. And more so, not even with each other the most of the time, it's with the business. Yeah. We have gotten frustrated with each other, but it was just like, all right, girl, I'm going home. You gonna go ahead. We're gonna shut it down for the night, and we gonna. By the time we get home, is did you see this TikTok? So we didn't figure out all about what we was frustrated about with each other, but it really, I guess, because we're always together anyway, that it just made us closer. For me, it made me closer to her. Not just on a friendship side or on a family side, but also as a business partner. I know at the end of the day, she has my back. When I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this no more, she's like, okay, let's just talk about it and give it to this deadline. So that's where the organization and the plan that comes in. And I'm just like, forget this. I'm done. I'm tired. I got a headache. I'm just over it. And then later on, I'll come back and be like, you were right. I'm calm down there. And then on the flip side, she'll be like that a week or two later. I'm like, no, we got this. We're going to do this. You know, so we kind of balance each other out in a way. And it hasn't interfered with our relationship. Not for me anyway.
Not for me.
It just made us closer.
I do think it's a balance. And I think we probably always spent so much time together anyway that it didn't really feel different. It just felt like, we're going to start making some money together.
Yeah.
So our business really took off during COVID. And we couldn't be around a lot of people. So she was the only person I could be around. And, the only person that I was allowing to come in my house, her and my godchild, to, work on business things. So, I mean, we were literally together every single day. And then we'll take our little runs to the grocery store or something together. But it's just like a balance.
Yeah, because she wouldn't come out the house
at all.
And I said, no, ma'am, you're getting out. Because she was going crazy in the house. And I was like, we got out, what was it, one Sunday? I dragged out the house. I was like, let's go. Double up on your mask, whatever you got to do, because you getting out this house. I mean, she was in the house for a good month and didn't go nowhere. If not longer than that, and didn't go anywhere. I was like, no. Nope, got to go.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So in any relationship, there'll be disagreements like we talked about earlier, in times where there may be conflict. And as I mentioned earlier, I know for some people when dealing with conflict, it's easy to look at that as like, okay, we have a disagreement, we have an argument, whatever, that means the relationship is over with. What advice would you give as far as working through moments like this, but still being able to move forward and maintain your friendship?
I think people should talk about it.
Talk about it.
And not in the heat of the moment of things. Yeah. I think people should, because when it's easier to say something you'll regret or want to take back when you're mad, when you're angry. And you may still feel the same way, but maybe you would have said it differently. Mm-hmm. So I think like if you two have a disagreement, just, shut it down for the moment, take some space, pray about it, come back together and be like, you really hurt my feelings when such and such and such, and talk about it. It should be things that are, I think anything can be worked through. Mm-hmm. So you should be able to work through it and get over it, and not, especially if you have a good friendship and that y'all are loyal to each other, you want to make sure not to throw that away over a misunderstanding or an argument or something like that. So it's always best to just talk it through and be honest. Let that person know they hurt your feelings. Mm-hmm.
I agree. And don't let it fester on, because then stuff will start adding to that.
You got to resolve it. You got to talk about it.
Yep, you got to talk about it. Don't let it linger on, because then stuff going to be building on top of that. And then you're going to be finding little stuff like, oh, he did this. Or,
regardless of how little it is, too.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Talk about it. You might want to cool off first, because sometimes people do say things when they're angry and they don't really mean it. So I would say, like she said, calm down, cool off, come back and talk about it, and just tell that person how you feel and let them know, I don't love you any less. I just want you to know how I feel. Doesn't mean that we have to break up or we don't have to be friends anymore, but I just want you to know this is how it made me feel. And just take it from that. I mean,
because your true friends you don't have but a few.
So you can't. I don't want to be your friend no more. Yeah, you don't have no other friends. Right. Where you going?
That's real.
Right.
So. And I feel like too, the longer that you've been friends with someone, it's similar to with your family. Like,
yes.
You love your family. You might not always like them. Your siblings might get on your nerves sometimes. Yes. But at the end of the day, it's like, like, I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
And it's like training your mind to think that way of your friends as well. And I remember when I did Kianya's episode, she was saying, we were talking about friendship, and she was saying that you and Taylor's mom, I think it was you and Taylor's mom, but set her and Taylor down when they had their little like falling out, and was like, no. Like, yep, you can move past this.
Yep.
And sometimes you just need that reminder that just because you have a disagreement, just because you have conflict, that doesn't mean like, oh, it's over. Like, no, you can talk about it and you can move past it and still maintain a friendship.
Yeah. Right.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. What advice do you have for making friends as an adult? Because sometimes we're like taught out here.
Talk to her about that.
She's gonna say, don't make friends.
No new friends, Kalisha.
Don't make them.
If you're not my friend by now, we're not gonna be friends. I mean,
I'm learning the hard way. But no, we were talking about this. I have actually made some really good friends as adults. And I still make them. And they make fun of me all the time when we go places or something. They always be like, stop making friends. Why are you bringing this random person back to our table? Now, I don't consider those people friends at the moment, right? But like recently, within the last 5 years, I know I've met 2 really good people that I would consider my friend. Like, they've shown me, and I've shown them in the matter of need and times and stuff like that, that I could count on them or they could count on me. And so I believe that we can still make friends the older we get. I mean, we just got to make sure not to use the word loosely, you know. Yeah. And only time will tell, really. Yeah. You know, somebody's not your friend overnight. But I'm so outgoing. I just want everybody to just, I don't want nobody to feel left out. I want everybody to be friends and we can just all get along. And have fun. But they pick on me all the time about that. They always like, stop bringing random people.
You never met a stranger.
For me, I think it's harder because a lot of people are at different points of their lives. So I think it just depends on where you're meeting that person at in their lives and what that person is actually needing. Which will, I mean, it just depends on whether it's going to lead to a friendship or not, or you're just with that person for that particular season. I mean, sometimes it's like that. So like you said, don't use the word friend loosely.
Choose wisely.
I keep my guard up a lot, so I'm not going to suggest that for everybody because sometimes that's not the good approach. But just keep your eyes open because everybody has a different agenda and they're not out to be your friend. They're friending you, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be your friend. They're out for other reasons. So I just say just be cautious of that. But I do think you can meet friends in your adult life. Per se, I don't think that. I think I'm good with what I have, so I'm good. I don't need I'm good. Her friends end up being my friends anyway, so I mean,
they're different friends for different reasons and different seasons.
Yes.
So that is also true. Yes. Just because somebody came in at a certain time and y'all were friends for a certain period of time, and then y'all may not talk as much anymore, doesn't mean that person isn't still your friend.
Right.
Life just took a different course, you know,
for
y'all. So it's a friend for every reason, every season.
I agree with that 100%. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for being my special guest today. Before we wrap up, I want you all to plug your business, share where people can connect with you, all the stuff.
Okay.
So thanks for having us.
Yes.
We make apparel.
I'm wearing one right now. Yep.
And you can contact us. Go to our website at exclusiveapparelbykk.com.
All right. And I'll make sure to link everything in the show notes the description box on my YouTube channel, so you all will have that information. Make sure that y'all check them out. Yep. But thank you, ladies, once again for being a part of my podcast. I hope you all had fun. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I know that it will be helpful for people. So I'm excited. This is what I thought it would be.
I can't wait to see
it. Me either.
So I'm excited
you.
to see it as well. But don't forget to share this episode with a friend. And until next time, don't forget, be whole, be healed, and be authentic. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into A Change of Heart podcast. I hope you were encouraged, and please take a moment to share with a girlfriend, and don't forget to download the episode. Lastly, I would love to connect with you. You can follow me on Instagram at Angel C. Walston and at A Change of Heart podcast. Have an amazing week, and don't forget, be whole, be healed, and be authentic.